Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Tori back with another video. Today's video is going to be a little different and kind of depressing, but I think it's important that y'all know my background. So I'm here to share my testimony and story, and if you don't know what that is, it's how God has affected and influenced my life. Sorry about the bad quality, by the way. I'm on my laptop because my camera is being tricky, and this video might be long because I'm not editing it. I'm recording it and posting it as it is. So yeah. So I'll give y'all the shortest version that I can. Focus on the main point. And remember, this is really hard for me to put into words. So if I sound kind of confusing, just go with it. So yeah. All right. So it all kind of started happening in the third grade. I knew I was different, and it wasn't really that big of a deal until a classmate died in a car crash. This obviously hit everyone really hard. They were 8 years old, and they were there, and then they weren't. And it hit everybody hard. But me, I took the blame. I said I killed them. I said it was my fault. And people tried to convince me that it wasn't, and it was okay, and I didn't do anything wrong. And it got really bad. I would cry, and I would just, it was just my fault in my head. I killed them. I didn't know what I did, but I did something. So my parents took me to a psychologist where I was diagnosed with OCD, high anxiety, and mild depression. That same year, still 8, my oldest sister decided to run away from home. She was really hard on my family. Lost a classmate. Now I'm losing a sister is what it felt like. I prayed a lot during that time. Mentally, I started getting better going into junior high. Still hadn't seen my sister. I'd prayed that she would just call us and say that she misses us, or text us and say that she loves us, or come to my birthday party, or come to Christmas, or just ask if we want to go hang out. But that didn't happen until the end. So, 8th grade, my sister came back. She was gone for 6 years, and now she's back, which feels amazing. So God answered my prayers there. Obviously, it wasn't in my time, which kind of sucked, but I think it made this family stronger. Summer going into 9th grade, I was bullied a lot. I was called ugly. It's called names based on my appearance. And when you get called something so much, you really start to believe it. So going into 9th grade, I saw everybody and their boyfriends and girlfriends, and everybody was so in love, and they were so happy and happily ever after. And then I was over here and just depression every single day. Got worse. 9th grade was the first time that I considered killing myself. Luckily, I did not. And I'm gonna be honest, that was a while ago, so I don't really remember what happened. And that's not even the biggest one. So I was doing better. Going into 10th grade, I played sports, or a sport, and we had a competition, and I lost against someone that I shouldn't have lost against. So I had someone tell me that I was worthless to the team if I can't even win against someone that I should have won against. I was told that I wasn't gonna get any help from anyone on the team anymore because I was worthless to the team. Obviously, that's kind of hard. I was 15, so I was still kind of young. Right after that happened, I started crying and I ran to a corner of the school. And I tried to kill myself. In the middle of trying to kill myself, I just had flashbacks, I guess you could say, of times with my family and my parents. And I just thought about God. I felt him there. I felt him with his hand on my shoulder. I felt it. And I immediately stopped right there and I just started crying, just bawling. And I called my mom and she came and she just held me in her arms. That was a really strong experience between me and God. Something I will never forget. Something that's hard to put into words, but it was a blessing in disguise. So I was getting better. End of 10th grade, I did something that I know I shouldn't have done. It wasn't anything big. It wasn't illegal. It was nothing bad. It was nothing that I would get in trouble for. But in my mind, it was the worst thing I could ever do in the whole world. My depression started plummeting automatically in that day. I came home and I acted happy, which I was pretty good at because I was in theater, so. And my parents, nobody noticed. But I do not by any means blame this on them. They're the best parents. They're always there for me, and they ask me if I'm okay whenever they think something's wrong. And even when I'm rude, they'll just respond in love. And when something happens, they respond with just God. So this is by no means, I'm not blaming this on them. They're great parents. But that night, it got so bad that I had a plan. It was a pretty solid plan. I was going to wait till my parents fell asleep and go to the safe and get a gun. And I was going to go back up to my room. Hadn't really decided which room to do it in, but at this point I was thinking my bedroom. And I was going to shoot myself. I started telling my friends, I started texting them, I started telling them goodbye, and telling them that if I can't do anything right, and if I'm worthless, why am I here? So I went home, and I texted them, and they tried to talk me out of it, but my mind was set on doing it. I had this plan, this foolproof plan. I knew it. I was gonna do it. I wasn't scared of it anymore like I was before. There was a knock at the door, and I was kind of worried because one of my friends, threatened to call the police. And I asked my sister, I said, who's at the door? And the look on her face is indescribable. It was just fear. Pure fear. She looked at me and she said, I don't know. It's the police. Sure enough, I look over the balcony of our stairs and the police are there, talking to my parents. And for a second, I just watched as they're talking to my parents, and I just see my parents' faces shift from happiness and having a good night to just terror. And they both, all of them, looked up at me on the balcony as I started screaming for them to get away. I told them I didn't need them. I told them that they can't stop me. I tried to run away. My dad had to hold me and just restrain me till I calmed down. The police stayed there for a while, talking to my parents. By this time, I had told my mom what happened, because she was asking me, and after seeing everything that happened in literally the past 30 minutes, I just told her. And a cop came into my room where I was sitting with my mom, and he asked me what happened. And I couldn't talk. So my mom told him. We all talked about what was best, and that night I was admitted to a mental hospital. I spent 4-5 days there, and I walked in just thinking that I was going to be the only one in there, thinking that I was alone, thinking that nobody cared about me. And I walked in and I see probably 10 other kids. And I just stood still. I didn't feel alone. I didn't feel alone. And we had 3 group sessions, and I can't even describe the presence of God in that facility. It was so strong. So strong. And I got better. I wasn't completely healed, but I got better. And I felt God, and that was my strongest interaction with God ever. So I got out, and at that point I was doing pretty good. Getting to 11th grade, was getting bullied. By this time, I was not only diagnosed with OCD and high anxiety, was also diagnosed with major depression and bipolar and suicidal thoughts and tendencies. I was doing pretty good. I moved in the middle of my junior year, which I was really excited to start on a clean slate. And I was like, oh, it's going to be perfect. And I got there, and I love where we are. Still got bullied. And I immediately found this friend. or someone I thought was my friend. And we hung out for most of my junior year, and I never noticed it, but every time I tried to leave, they would threaten to kill themselves. And I didn't notice that they were abusing me psychologically, emotionally, physically. I remember one time they hit me. I'm not going to go into that because, I mean, who wants to relive that kind of stuff, right? One of those nights, I heard that they were spreading rumors that I abused them around the school. And everybody, the chief in the school, everybody told me to stay away. And that night I was going to kill myself again. Or tried to kill myself. Obviously I didn't. And that's all thanks to God. And people may look at my story and think, oh, poor you, or oh, that's so stupid, or oh, like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And honestly, my response would be, I'm not. This is going to sound so weird, but I'm so happy I went through everything that I did. I'm so close to God now. I feel him everywhere. I feel him everywhere. And I know that even though during those times when I felt alone, I was never alone. And even during those times when I felt like it was the end, it wasn't. And those were some of the hardest points of my life so far. But they make me me. They make my story my story. They made me stronger. I no longer have suicidal thoughts or tendencies. Now I share my story to try and help people who are living in the mindset that I used to live in, who feel alone. I just want to help as many people as possible and help them know that they're not alone. God is with you, and I know, trust me, I know it does not feel like that at all. But that's what it is. So I'm going to stop talking about depressing stuff now because it's kind of a bummer. That's only part of my story, and I may share the rest with y'all later. But yeah, so I'm not really worried about anybody liking and subscribing this video because it really doesn't matter to me. What matters is that I help someone through this video, and I'm sorry that it was long, but some people really need to hear it. If I saw something like this, I think it would save my life. I mean, God saved my life, but I mean, you know what I mean. Comment if you need to talk to somebody. I will talk to y'all. I will help y'all. I've been where you are, and I know how it feels. Just comment that you need to talk, and I will find a way. Nobody should feel left out. Nobody should feel unloved because they are. And even if you don't feel like it, God loves you. A tremendous amount. Like it's not even describable. Yeah. So hopefully this helped some of y'all. Send this video to a friend if you're worried about them or you think that they are in this mindset. The point of this video isn't to get sympathy. The point of this video is to help people. So yeah.